pēra I e, o mai to I hau. E hau no tātou I te imahana. Te wana e, o mai to I ora. E ora no tātou. Te whenua e, o mai to I here. E here no tātou. Nā te whetu napa I tērā I mateata. I te waka o Nonosina, I te pēra I hau. Maru me kei. Thank you guys for having me here. Tsaropa, marulele, aloha, yaurana. My name is Tiana Nonosina Liufau. I come from a long line of culture keepers. My lineage comes from Samoa, from Tonga, and from Hawaii. But what fills my when I research the majority of my life is the island of Tahiti. But I am born and raised in California. Let's go. Southern California. I'm from Orange County, Anaheim. I got my education in LA. Nowadays you'll find me in Long Beach. But I'm so happy to be here, and I'm family with my family here. So yeah, thank you guys for welcoming me to your space. What I said in the beginning was, Sky, please grant us peace, so peace may be amongst us. Moana, te moana nui ahiva. The ocean that connects us, please grant to us life, so life will be shared with you and I. For the land, please grant us love, so love will be shared here today. And then I did a speech to represent my waka. My waka is Nonosina. This is the waka of my grandmother. And I said, "Not the stars that are shining, in the sky, not any sky, but the bright sky, the clear sky. And this is what guides us. Ite va'a o Nonosina. The name of my va'a is Nonosina. Ite pera iho, and our mission is to reach new horizons." So thank you guys for having me here. I will turn the time over to you if you guys want to.
Sio Tōwhao, ko hokuhi ngoa ko Sophia Alice Wolfgram, ko e whawhine au o Carl Frederick Wolfgram mo mele tina lasa tangi, ko e mokopuna au o Efalame Frederick Wolfgram mo mele seni huni fifitao, pea mo ulayasi tangi mo eni solo sokonaya. Ko kulele mai me Goloa, Fatai, Ha'alafuli, Vaini, Gotu, Ha'awhewa, le matua, golonga, mo tongatapu. Hello, my name is Sophia Alice Wolfgram, and I am an 11th grade scholar here at Moana Academy. Good morning and welcome to Moana Academy. On behalf of our school administration, staff, and scholars, it is an honor to have you here with us today. Before we begin, we want to take a moment to recognize the indigenous people of this land. Moana Academy stands on the ancestral lands of Shoshone, Paiute, Goshu, Ute, and Navajo people, and we honor their resilience, history, and continued presence. This acknowledgement reflects our shared respect for history, heritage, and the strength of indigenous communities. At Moana Academy, our mission is to ensure that our scholars succeed not in just academics, but also in embracing who we are, knowing where we come from, and carrying our traditions forward. We are proud to be a school that uplifts students from diverse cultures by providing a space where we can learn, grow, and celebrate our communities. Ms. Tiana, your journey is an inspiration to us all. Your work as a choreographer, musician, cultural consultant, and educator has made an incredible impact not just on the Pacific Islander community, but on the world, from leading the dance group Nonosina to working on Disney Moana's 1 and Moana 2. You have helped share our stories in authenticity and heart. Many of us here dream of sharing our cultures in a meaningful way, whether through music, dance, storytelling, or leadership. But we also know that staying true to who we are isn't always easy. Today, we are beyond grateful for the opportunity to learn from your experiences, your challenges, and your wisdom as a Pacific Islander woman breaking barriers in the entertainment industry. On behalf of Moana Academy, our Moana scholars, and our entire community, we thank you for being with us today. To keep our traditional Moana Academy protocol, we would like to begin with a welcoming performance that showcases a few of the cultures represented here at Moana Academy.
Let's go. Yes. I love it here. I want to move here.
over to you, Ms. Tiana, to share with us more about yourself and the work you do. We also have students who have prepared questions that they would like to ask when you are ready for them.
First of all, thank you guys. Yeah. Oh. I was not ready for this, but I'm always ready for this. Thank you guys. We just flew in from LA, and wow. For myself, I flew with my partner Kayla. We come from the lands of the Tongva Nation, so thank you guys for having us. Man, how do I function after that? Wow, thank you guys. We don't have nothing like this back in LA, so I'm really taken back, and rightfully so that this is called Moana Academy. A little bit about myself. Oof, I don't know, what do you guys want to know? I'm a Scorpio. I was born October 30th, let's go. I come from humble beginnings. My grandmother raised me. Her name is Estella Nonosina Reid. R-E-I-D, for those of you Samoan families, we have two Reid families. We have R-E-E-D, R-E-I-D. This was my grandpa's name. She is a su'apaia in a tu'ipelehake. She's born and raised in American or America Samoa, the village of Falingiu. Made her way over to North Shore of Oahu in Laie. And this is actually where the majority of my family still stays, in Laie. And then she's one of many siblings, and she was the only one that her va'a led her to exotic California. And she stayed there, and the only thing she said that she took with her was her love of Polynesian music and dance. Growing up in Samoa, she was raised by the old folks. She knew the customs, the songs, the dances. She never went to school. She was the one to stay home. And when she went to Laie, now we know the Polynesian Cultural Center, right? Back in the day, they didn't have that quite yet, but we still had all the culture keepers from all the different islands coming there. They were brought there through the church. And so my grandma was introduced to other islands, Aotearoa, Tahiti, and a bunch of other islands, Hawaii. And that's where she felt safe. When she came to California, she said there was two things that she brought with her that helped her survive. She's a survivor of all things. And it was her love for her Polynesian culture through the medium of music and dance, and her faith and testimony. And that is where she feels that it was her chance to make a home, because she never really felt like she had a home to call her own. And funny story, the neighborhood moms, and they were also the moms that were in the same ward, would teach her English, and in return she would teach them Polynesian songs and dances. And this carried on for years and years, and then they gifted her she taught in her garage, and they gifted her a little space, really little, and said, you need to start your own business or your own group. For her, this is foreign, because she's like, oh, it's not a business. We stand on business. This is who we are, right? She didn't equate it with money. And so, yeah, they said you have to name your business, and she named it Nonosina, which is our frigate bird. We call it different things. We call it Tavake, Tavae, Koikea, Nonosina, and that's how she started the group. So really, we come from humble beginnings. My father is from what people may call Western Samoa, we call it Samoa, and moved over to Laie. I guess that's just what my family does. And then made his way eventually to California. And so he does sibafi, he does fire knife. When we started our group, I don't know how to say, in Hawaiian we say hanai. Hanai is, this is not foreign to a lot of us. You're born and raised like family, but you might not be blood related. Maybe you're distant, but I'm my hanai son here, Siaki Si'i, Siaki Na over here. His family is the Mataele, one part of his family, the Mataeles, we all went to church together, and they all joined the group, and they were all of our singers. And this is how Nonosina started, was through the help of I'm not gonna lie, a lot of palangi moms. Back in those days. My grandma, she started her family, and then Saxi's family. And I don't think my grandma ever thought like it would be what it is today. We have a lot of students, blessed to be stressed. We run classes all day, every day. And I've dedicated my life to this. When we talk about industry, I never thought once ever in my whole life, oh, I want to make it in the industry. Like that word was not important to me. Yeah, but also I went to a school of the arts. So you have people that are trying to make it, actors, singers, choreographers, you know, whatever. And that was cool, but actually I was like, I get my fix at Nonosina, that's after school. I just wanted to play sports. Yeah, I wanted to prove that I could be something outside of the dance realm. So I threw myself in sports. Didn't last very long because it conflicted with rehearsals. I threw myself in school, yeah. So all my schooling is public education in California. And then I earned a couple degrees at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. And my major is called World Arts and Cultures. It's funny, they call it WAC, W-A-C. It wasn't WAC, but I know, right? World Arts and Cultures. I majored in cultural studies and dance. I studied ethnomusicology. Honestly, I'm gonna share this with you guys because you're all scholars. It was a rough journey for me because my father owns restaurants called Matikis, and we have a couple in California and a lot in Vegas. He set that up, and he was like, after his role was like, graduate high school, graduate seminary, and then come work at Matikis. And my mom looked a little different. She was like, school, yes, but come sing and dance your life away. As long as you graduated high school, that was the thing. But I wanted to do more. And sorry, Dad and Mom, if you're watching this, but I applied to 2 schools. They hate each other, USC and UCLA. I did not want to move away from home because I'm gonna use a Hawaiian word, my kuleana, my responsibility, more than responsibility, my calling was to carry my grandmother's legacy. It's a home away from home. It's a home outside of Polynesia that helps people fall in love with the Polynesian culture. And I thought that was powerful. Yeah, I'm very proud to be Polynesian, but I'm very proud to be born and raised in California as well, and all of the culture that comes with that. I applied to 2 schools, they didn't even know, and then most kids are like so sad, oh, I didn't get into this school, and I was like, it's okay. Like, I don't know what to say. And when I got accepted, I remember I went to the restaurant and I was like, Dad. He's like, wow. I was like, look. And I was like, I got accepted too. And the first one was UCLA. And then, I mean, I think inside they were happy, but they were just like, you know, first thing they think of, I think a lot of us, our parents, they're the hardest working people we ever knew, and our grandparents too. So inside it was probably jumping for joy, but you know, he's never gonna express that. But he's like, how are we gonna pay for that? And then he flipped to me, and then spoke. And I was like, this is my future. I was like, okay, never mind. And then, yeah, it wasn't that they were mad, it's just like, my dad worked blood, sweat, and tears to open up these restaurants. Yeah, and it's doing very well. And he never saw him at home. I was really amazed with my grandma, but I think for him it was like, I did all this for you guys. I'm always gonna be at Nonosina. My mom and them were just kind of like, you were born to lead the group. My grandma started it to my mom, then my brother, then me. And then I think they were just afraid that, like, I don't know, we wouldn't carry on these legacies. But every day I drove from LA to Orange County and I made it. I have a soft spot for our scholars because for me, I can say that like that was something I wanted to prove to myself. In the dance world, everyone knows my family, love us, hate us, you know us. And I say that humbly, but I wanted to prove to myself that I can go into this real world and survive. And at the end of the day, I don't lead with, oh, I'm Polynesian, I do this. It's like, oh no, she got degrees and she happens to be Polynesian. Like, that's what I wanted. And in my department, I was the first Polynesian, because I'm gonna be honest, nobody wants to send their kids to this school to learn about songs and dances from all over the world. It's a small major. Me, I was like, you heard my prayers, let's go. Like, this was like perfect for me. And so yeah, that's why it means a lot for me to come here and to talk story with you guys, see you guys, because this is where it's at. This is beautiful. I feel like this is my two worlds coming together. And like, I don't come to Utah I couldn't even say it, Utah very often. The last time I came was for your birthday. And I want to come here more just based off of what I felt in seeing all you guys. I think some of you might be curious about the Moana stuff. Everyone says, oh, how did you get that gig? And that's weird to me because I don't think about it as a gig. It's my responsibility. How did you audition? I didn't audition. Whether there's a camera or not, a director or not, this is what me and my family do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't audition. I don't have a resume written. Honestly, I teach. I have a body of work. I'm not one to post on social media very much. That's not really my thing. I just hope it speaks for itself. I was approached to enter the Moana world at an expo called D23. I'm the worst person from Anaheim, you guys. I'm born and raised in Anaheim, and everyone's like, you must at Disney, and I was like, never. And then like, oh, this Disney movie, I'm like, but if you think about it, it's like so close. It's not like, if you're not from there, you want to go there, if that makes sense. So I came in, and then my dream, I felt like I made it because I got to choreograph to Te Waka, and there we know the way. They were the musicians, and I had to supplement the dancers in choreo. I was like, awesome, you're making a movie, but I'm so honored to share this stage with them. I grew up listening to them. I warm up my dancers every day to Opetayo's voice. So that, for me, I thought like, hey, I made it, I'm happy. After that, I started getting called in through the head of the Oceanic Trust, Kaliko Hurley, who is a graduate of Kamehameha, Kapaa Lama campus on Oahu, to come and provide reference. And how many of you guys are dancers? All of you? Yeah, let's just say all of you, yeah. They wanted to have a meeting, and then I met with the directors and the producers, and then we sat at a conference table, and then they showed me a bunch of clips that were just in black and white, almost looks like a comic book. And then I was looking at it, and then they played some music, and like I started crying because I was like, whoa, like this is gonna be out in theaters. And then they're like, oh, we just were wondering if you could come up with any ideas from connecting this frame to this frame to this frame. I don't really work like that, but I was like, I have no shame. I was like, I don't understand what you're asking me to do. They're like, oh, we need dance, but sometimes in between, because it's a movie, and I was like, I still don't understand. But this is what I said to them. I said, can you give me the song and give me the translations, and then I just make a dance from top to bottom? And then they're like, oh, for real? Well, they didn't say for real. That's in my head how I talk. And then they're like, yeah, we'll give you a couple weeks. But I was like, a couple weeks? I was like, Mary, I could do this right now. So I said, can I actually try something right now? And then I didn't go into, oh, this is an audition. Like I said, I was like, no, I'm here because I know something they don't. Yeah, like I'm looking at the faces in the room. I'm like, no, I'm the only Polynesian here. So I took off my shoes, I lifted up my pants, and I was like, okay, play the music, boom, boom. And I did look at their things, and they were just poses. And then I was like, okay, I got it. I was like, okay, turn it up. And then I just did a combo, and it was for male choreography. By the way, I love teaching boys how to dance. For every one boy, there's like 100 girls. So I was like, yes, yes, I got this. And they were just like, whoa. But then I broke it down, because when I teach, I'm not gonna tell you, oh, we're gonna do this and do that, and that's it. No, what were you looking at the stars? Why are you looking at the stars? What kind of sky is it? This, that, that. So I started explaining to them. And that's how I kind of got brought into the Moana 1 world. I've never created choreography for, I called it a cartoon, but I got corrected real quick, for animation. It's still a cartoon. So when I first created movement, when I saw it, it looked weird to me. It's because the arms and limbs are different. I've only worked with humans, right? So then their arms are like, I had to like reevaluate my whole, my whole life. And honestly, if you think about it, dancing, the Moana and Moana 2, there's not like dancing from top to bottom. If I made that movie, oh yeah, it would be dancing back. There'd be battles all over the place. But that was that. Kayla, am I allowed to talk about the live action? Live action Moana, this one I'm really excited about. It's still in the middle of being made, but these are humans, these are faces. All of you are gonna see probably one of your family members in there, yeah? A friend, yeah? Or someone that looks like my auntie, my uncle, my grandma, my grandpa. There's a lot more dance there, but again, the whole thing isn't dance, one day. I learned a lot on set. I learned a whole new language and system that I never knew before being on set. And I have no shame. If I don't know something, first I'm gonna ask Kayla, and then I ask like, what does that mean? But if there's no time to ask, then I just take my phone and I Google, what does balls and charts mean? I was like, oh yes, balls and charts, yes. But it's just exciting because I teach all day. Now I'm the student. And to be honest with you, I got bit by the bug. And I'm saying this, I've shared this with many people. I was the choreographer, one of the consultants, and I was honored enough to earn another title, which I'll just wait till it comes out and you can see it. But I was inspired because as beautiful as it was, I want to be the one in the director's seat. I want to be in the director's seat. I want Kayla to be in the producer's seat. It's beautiful how our stories are being told, but I want to be at the forefront of it. And not just me, I want us to tell our stories. And that's like a goal of mine. And I actually want to do this through film. I want to get into filmmaking. So right now I'm gonna have you audition for a new role that, no, I was kidding. I want to. I don't know much about it, but I didn't know much about anything walking into that room either, and I walked out knowing a whole lot. Yeah, and I know how to talk to different people, but still remain myself. So you won't see me switch up my voices, right, Kayla? I could be talking to like the biggest producer ever, like, yo, what's up, Chihu? Yeah, I'm like, oh, what's good? Oh, you know, what kind of music you listen to? Because if I'm not me, then it's like, why do it at all? Then you're putting on all these fake hats for free. And so my experience through Moana was good. I wasn't afraid to say, we have a great oceanic trust. That's where the real work is. I wasn't afraid to say like, oh, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't resonate with me. But then we pass it on to our Samoan anthropologist consultant, or we pass it on to the PVS consultant, or we pass it on to our Olelo Hawaii. There's a lot of us, and they are not afraid. Sometimes we just like argue the whole time, but that's a beautiful thing. We have to have this, right? I almost said dancers. Yes, dancers, right? We have to have this because if not, we're just yes men. It's gonna be whack. So it's good that we talk story and we learn from one another. And it's been a good journey so far. But I think I want to share before I turn the time over to you guys some of my highest achievements. A lot would be like Moana. I do So You Think You Could Dance as a choreographer as well. I'm gonna be very honest and organic with you. It isn't those things. It isn't those things. I think my participation in the Heiva, i Tahiti, I'm going back to taking my group to go to Mary Monarch. We got invited to do exhibition. When we've done cultural exchanges, when we give offering on the mare. For me, these things mean more to me because without cultural practice, there's no cultural performance, right? And I think that a lot of times people do perform, but they don't always practice cultural practice. So there's no way we can say, oh, we're gonna do this aparima, which is like a hula or whatnot, abata marai, tapu-tapuatea. But it's like, you can only make up so many emotions about something that is actually very sacred until you actually go and give offering at a marae. Then I can make choreography to try and express what I felt, what I saw, what I heard. And that's, yeah, my TED Talk. Is there music playing that cuts me off? You guys?
Yagwe. My name is Kahealani Boas, and I grew up here in Utah, far from my homeland, the Marshall Islands. Like you, I've worked hard to stay connected to my cultural values and traditions, even though I'm far from my homeland. While it's something I'm proud to maintain, it can also be challenging in a place with different customs and ways of life. I know you grew up in California, but despite the distance, you found powerful ways to stay rooted in your culture through dance, music, and language. What challenges have you faced in keeping your culture close to you while living far from your ancestral homeland?
That's an awesome question that I wish in a lot of other forums with adults twice your age I wish they would ask. That itself has been the challenge. Like I said, I'm so proud of my lineage, and it's hard to keep on to those traditions being based off island. So in all honesty, I have to make the effort to research, to reach out to experts in the field, try to see if I can introduce myself. Like even when I was like 8, 9 years old, I would just introduce myself, ask questions, but you know, you can't ask too many questions because they're like, hey, get away. Read, but be cautious about when you're reading whose perspective it's from. I don't want to say use the internet, but there are a lot of amazing resources out there from Aotearoa, from Hawaii, and so forth, where these people are live streaming their lectures. I've had to cautiously make an effort to make sure I'm rooted to the point where like my family back home is a bunch of different islands, or like when I come, they're like, hey, why do you want to go there? Just like Disney. Like, I don't want to go to Disney, but they're like, hey, why do you want to see this mountain so bad? Why do you want to go to this marae so bad? But it's like, because you guys live with it, you live with this element, I don't. I'm always creating from an outside perspective. And so I think that I've struggled. When I was young, I always wish I was born in any island. I always never felt like I fit in. And then when I go to the island, I was like, I don't quite fit in here either. And then when I embraced it, that actually my va'a just kept traveling and it landed here, that's when I started to become my own artist. And that's when I had to push myself to really just talk story with the right people and go to all different kind of events, seminars, talks, exchanges, so that I can be in the room, in the space, so I can absorb all that. I can't just sit home and expect things to be handed to me and this knowledge to come from our ancestors in a dream. I had to go, and I continue to go, and I will always go. So you know how our ancestors voyage, right, from island to island? I feel like I have to voyage back so I can fulfill, not take, but fulfill and feel and come back. And then I don't create right away. I just kind of let that marinate, and then that's when I start to create. But I think that my job is to, honestly, I'm just an instrument to help my students fall in love with the culture. I feel like I'm just an introduction. And then from there on, you know, it's you guys, hopefully you take a Polynesian lesson that you carry throughout your whole life. That's all I feel like I'm good for.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's like, that's good.
Sia taupa, ko kuingoa ko Melbourne Brianna Lakilani ko fusi. Well, ko kasi homophone. Like you, Miss Tiana, I am a Polynesian Pacific Islander born and raised in the United States. Growing up here, I've developed a deep love for my culture and traditions, and I try to keep them alive in my community, whether through singing, dancing, or chanting. From a young age, I also noticed how often our culture is misrepresented and reduced to stereotypes in the media. Since you've worked as a choreographer and cultural consultant for Disney on Moana and its sequel, I admire the way you've helped bring authentic representation to such a big platform. As a Polynesian woman working with major industry leaders, what has your experience been like in making sure our culture is represented with accuracy and respect? And when working on projects like Moana, what message or image did you hope the world would take away about Polynesian culture?
Thank you for that. I felt like I was in a pageant. Thank you for that question. Working backwards, Oceanic Trust. I'm only one member of, for the second one, there's 12 of us. I work alongside, you guys are familiar with the group Faiva? Yeah, they sing a lot of Samoan songs. Dr. Grant Mwangututia, I worked closely with him. Dr. Dion Fonoti. I need to be a doctor. How can I do this? Everyone's a doctor. Dr. Dre. And then I told you I was from California. Don't trip. Let's go. Nainoa Thompson. I'm thinking who we worked like the most closest. Huh? Oh, Tweety, yes, from Aotearoa. I can't take their credit. I think that my face is seen a lot because she's kind of camera friendly. No, I was kidding. I can't take their credit. I just am one opinion and one mana that is brought to this calabash. So we all have our kind of mana'o that we put forward. But we do talk about the way we were reared and what we believe in and what we feel. And I think my main thing in this is that for all of us cultural trust members is that we want to keep, and it gets very hard because some things are beyond control, but we want to keep a Polynesian, maybe I shouldn't say Polynesian, an indigenous or an island perspective. That we might execute it differently than someone else will, but that perspective is there and that lens is there. And I think that's something that we've been trying to do. Even within the triangle, we have different ways of expressing things, right? We have different customs. So this is why we all talk story and try to keep it authentic. Of course, there are higher ups in Disney that whether it's Moana or not, it's other movies, they move from movie to movie. That gets a little tricky. Because for us, movie or no movie, we're still here, and this is what we do. And we're passionate about it because this is about our people. So I think just making sure that we are laying down the knowledge that was passed down to us, and that our communities can, even if it's just one moment, no matter what that moment is, they could be like, I felt that, or that was tight, or oh, I see what you did. It's not, and we're never gonna have everyone's, vote, but I think for all Moana worlds, especially live action, because it's so it's real people. That sounds funny. Humans, I should say. I want you guys to pick up one thing in there. It's maybe we have a master. Oh, I can't say that. Just certain parts where you're like, we don't explain what we're doing, but you guys know. And you guys are so cultured here. You'd be like, I know exactly what they're doing. Oh, this drum is laying this way. I bet you it's from this part of the triangle. Hey, that rhythm kind of sounds like the dum. Oh, okay, I know what you're doing right there. Oh, dang, they have this. I can't give away too much. But you guys are gonna pick up on so many things just being cultured here that your average person, they won't understand, but it'll make this start to like, wait, I wonder what that's about. And guess what? We did something. Now you're gonna go Google it. I hope you find a good site, but or you're gonna ask your one Polynesian friend you have if you're in the middle of nowhere. But that's, I don't know, my hope. And I hope that at the end they know that we are storytellers, we are voyagers, and we are warriors. That's what I want, if I could sum it up. That's what I want. And that we're such gorgeous people.
Follow people.
Haro.
Talofa, alo'o ingoa o Langisoya Marianne Tase Afe, Mapula Senga Savingi. I am a 10th grade scholar here at Moana Academy. I am a young Pacific Islander woman who has always loved embracing my culture through music and dance. I started dancing when I was 5, and as I got older, I began to struggle with confidence and self-esteem. Sometimes it feels hard to put myself out there and own my place in the space of Polynesian dance. I also know that you started dancing at a young age and have built an incredible career as a dancer and choreographer. What is some advice you would give to young female Polynesian dancers like me to feel more confident about sharing our talents through Polynesian music and dance?
With confidence?
Yeah.
Ooh. Is your main concentration, I'm just curious, in Siva Samoa?
I dance for a dance group that's like multiculturally.
My bad. Oh, nice. So you guys do all. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. Can I ask you what your, if you we all have insecurities in life, period. She just told me to take off my jacket. I was like, ooh, maybe in the summertime. Insecurities, I have a question if I can pose to you. What, if you don't mind sharing, what do you think would be an insecurity when it comes to dancing? And this, everyone has them, but.
For me, I would say probably my body and my smile.
Oh my gosh, you have such a beautiful smile. Beautiful period. Okay. I would say, to be honest with you, the way I teach my classes, I was raised, in my eyes, by the strongest woman in the world. Yeah. And now she's probably the strongest woman in that realm. But for me, how I try to, I see my dancers, I can read the room really well. That's why I was like, do you guys need to stretch your legs? I see when they get insecure. I see certain times when they like get really excited. Some people love being a solo dancer, some people love being in the line. My goal is that, honestly, you feel empowered in general, because dance, you can't dance in the streets and live off of, I don't know, your fa'arapu, I'm making a Tahitian reference, and playing the ukulele. But for me personally, I just try to lead by example. When I dance with the boys, like I love dancing next to them because I low-key like try to like challenge them, like, cause I'm 43. I know you guys thought I was way younger, right? So yes. Okay. So like I'll like go next to them, the boys, and I'm like, get lower, let's go, you know, like just that's boys, they like that. For girls, I think I just like for them to see me. They don't have to be just like me, but I never use a microphone. So I'm really loud when I project, and then I'm trying to encourage them. And then I was raised in a very like strict way, no compliments, and I think I have a tendency to be the opposite. Like if I see her doing something really good, I'll uplift that. And then I'll never be like, you suck, or anything like that. Because I know how that feels like, and it's not great. But just try to, you know, encourage just positive reinforcement, to be honest. And then in all honesty, as a teacher, I have to pivot the classroom a lot. So if I see someone that's maybe insecure about the smile, I honestly will be like, hey, everyone smile, frown, laugh. And I do different exercises, and then I'm just like, okay, think of something really funny and then smile. And then I go like, honestly, okay, what are you thinking of? What are you thinking of, you know? And then they see, it worked. Body, like honestly, everyone is gonna be insecure. And then you're like up there dancing. But I think if the teacher teaches the power in the words and the story you're telling, we realize that it's way bigger than our smile, way bigger than our body. We're doing beautiful work for the culture. Now explain that to a 5-year-old, nah, over their head. But in all honesty, I know it's easier said than done, but it's like you just, my quote I always tell my dancers is, I come from a race of warriors. And whatever warrior means to you, like really like find that within, and then just own it. No one's gonna live your life. No one's gonna wear your smile for you. No one's gonna jump in your body and dance for you. So own it, yeah? It's all you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. The speaker, it gets taller and taller. Everyone who talks on the mic.
Sio to'ofa, Miss Tiana Liufau, ko kuingoa ko Solomon Hens Nesesi Francis Tavelli Jr. As a young man from Tonga, my grandfather's passion and dedication to music have been a huge inspiration for me. Watching him has fueled my own desire to pursue a career in music. I read that your grandmother played a big role in shaping your journey as a dancer, choreographer, and culture educator. How has her influence guided you in your career, and what lessons from her do you carry with you in the work that you do today?
Thank you for that. I'm laughing because I think like For my grandma, anyone in this room that's close to my age, our grandmas are probably very similar. There's no like nice way to say this, but she was very like old school, and she ruled with the iron fist, and it was her way or the highway. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I appreciate that. I appreciate that she took the way that she was raised back home on her island and brought it here, because I know that she knew I was gonna be influenced with outside these doors with everyone else, right? And she put me in check. She put me in check, and this carries over to me today. Sometimes when I create stuff, I'm like, I hear her, I'm like yelling at me. Because I'm like, that's too modern, it might be too avant-garde, and this is not the time or place for it, maybe in a different project. So I'm really grateful that I think there's a light side and a dark side to that kind of upbringing, but it was coming from a loving place, and also we're artists, so it was in the name of the arts. Her teachings have always just been, she's very proud. She thought I was the greatest thing in the world. I mean, I'm pretty sure your grandparents, can you get, like, they brag, she would brag about me all the time. And in the end, I always get embarrassed, like, oh my God, stop saying that. Yeah, she didn't really know exactly what I did with Moana, but she'd tell everyone in the public, like, oh yeah, she's Moana. I was like, no, I am not Moana. I am far from Moana. I don't even know if I have, I'm more like Grandma Tala. But I appreciate it, like, now though, because I think she rules with the iron fist, but at the end of the day, it just comes from a loving place. And in all honesty, I think twice before like everything and anything. And now I'm becoming her. Like when the kids, little things, they're running late, they don't say it too low, like I literally get so mad. I don't even care if Samoan or Tongan or not. I'm like, ski, go back. Or little things like, hey, fold your legs. Yeah, as I'm getting older, I'm hearing her even talk like her, and I'd be like, laugh, like the way she'd say certain things. I'm like, we don't say it like that. And now I'm like, close the light. Like, she'd say, button your lips. Like, what does that even mean? And now I feel like I'm becoming her. All that to say is that I cherish the teachings that she helped mold her and brought it here. Because without that, then I think it's like, I'll be out in the streets running. I'd be, out doing all kinds of stuff. And I don't. She's very good. Thank you.
Malolele Miss Tiana Liufau. As a Tongan male, I know how difficult it can be to talk about mental health and personal struggles. Growing up, I faced my own challenges and understand how hard it can be to navigate those feelings. I've read about how you had to set aside your own struggles at times to uplift others, bringing energy, smiles, knowledge, and culture to your students, even when you may have felt isolated yourself. How do you handle that kind of responsibility while still making sure to take care of your own well-being?
Oh my gosh. Who gave you guys these questions? I love it. It's because and I love it because we don't talk about it. And I think those are the most important conversations. We don't talk about it. And a lot of times people come to me because they want to get their cup filled. They want to learn about dances, they want to learn about rhythms, they want to drum, they want to, you know what's happening. And I want them to escape the everyday life for the time I have them in the name of Polynesian arts. That's beautiful. Sometimes it's hard though when I'm having a day and then I have to, my first class is at 5 p.m. By 3 p.m. I'm like, okay, I gotta switch up whatever's happening. And some days it's really hard. But never have I questioned like, should I be doing something else with my life? It's just sometimes, I have to put a lot of those things aside, things that I struggle with. And also, I was raised where we don't talk about it. And then an example, it's kind of funny now. Kindergarten all the way through high school, my teachers and my counselors would always tell my grandma and my mom and dad, and this was back in the day, she's 43, but they would be like, academically, she's doing great. She's very hyper excessive talking and stuff like that. But we think that she should get tested for ADD. Oh, right away, my grandma is like, hey, shh, focus. And I'm like, focus, what? and then my dad, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone by saying this, but it's just my story. My dad would come home and be like, hey, you know what she said? Because I think when first time I heard that, I went forward and I was like, what is this? What are they talking about? I think she has, right when they said that, I'm like, a good sense of humor? What are you gonna say? Style? He's like, you know what they said? He didn't even say it back. He's like, that's not it's not a thing. Basically, it's kind of like a palangi thing. And so I was like, okay. And then I didn't know what it was. So I just kept going on and whatever. In my adult, only a couple years ago, then I was actually with the therapist. And that's not something that our people talk about as well. And it was one of the greatest things that I actually did at that phase of my life. I was diagnosed professionally with ADHD, and a part of me was like, I don't even know what that means. And I've come this far in my life, academically and in my career, serving my family. I didn't feel like it hindered me. But then she told me, no, that's not what that means. It's actually just we process information differently. And when she explained it to me, I was like, oh, dang, that's what you mean. Yup, that's me. It wasn't easy though, because I felt like I had something wrong with me. And that was weird, that was difficult, because then all these kids, oh my gosh, did I get cut off? Okay, all these kids from 4 years old all the way up to 400 years old, they come to me and they wanna they wanna learn. And then I'm always joking, I'm a jokester. I was class clown 6th grade, 8th grade, 12th grade. And if I'm not having fun, they're not having fun. So I crack jokes and I see them smile and whatnot. And that brings me a lot of joy. But then when I was diagnosed with that, I was thinking wait, is something wrong with me? And that was hard to swallow. Because I know I'm not perfect, not at all. But I thought my whole mission in life was to fulfill people's cup and to make them happy and to represent for Polynesia. So when something like that comes as an adult, I wish maybe when I was younger, you told me then, but as an adult, it was really difficult to kind of navigate through. Because I'm like, what does that even mean? So yeah, still kind of going through that, but these are things we don't talk about or we don't believe in. And it's important to, because the generation before we're faced with different things. Social media wasn't even a thing when I was growing up. That's a whole thing now. So I don't know, I think as time goes on, we just open up more conversations and don't get mouthy with your parents or else you're gonna get it. But just continuing to have these conversations, because honestly, we're probably all more alike than anything else. Was that bell for us? Okay, sorry. Thank you for that question. Thank you. I didn't expect that question, and I didn't expect to share that.
Malolele Miss Tiana. Ko hoku hingoa ko wani koloto aki no molahi tawanwea. I'm a 10th grade scholar here at Moana Academy. And since coming to Moana, I've learned so much about Tongan drumming. And it's become something I really enjoy. But I know that in many traditional settings, drumming is seen as a male-dominant form of art. As a female drummer, what challenges have you faced and how have you pushed back against gender stereotypes in this place?
Oh, you guys. I thought it was gonna be who's your favorite artist? No, with that into, I forgot her name, our beautiful Smiler, that is a dancer. This kind of goes along, what I'm gonna say might answer some of what you had asked. I started drumming because I didn't see a lot of girls doing it. I also grew up watching my grandma and my mom hold the beat. They do a little something, something. And so it wasn't foreign to me to see a woman drum, but I didn't see it often. And my drum teacher, his name is Tuko Te Kurio. He's from Tahiti. He went to Church College, now BYU, called BYU. The first time, my first drum lesson, I was 9 years old. And then he taught at Nonosina, taught a huge drum class. And then my grandma gave him the space under one condition, that he teaches her grandchildren for free. So then, little ahupua system there. So then I came, and then I was the only girl in the class. My brother was next to me. His name is Mevinga. If you guys are singers, you should look up his music. He's an amazing singer. And then my cousin Sefa was next to me. And then the first time I hit the to'ere, because it was Tahitian drumming, it sent a vibration like I'll never forget. I was just telling Kayla this the other day. I fell in love. I feel like that was my first love. Is I took we call ra'au, the branch, and then I had the to'ere, and I already knew his mannerisms. All Tahitian drummers put their elbow over this thing, they tilt it, all the uncles, and then they drum. They never look at the dancers, they don't even care. They're just like, they just go. The first strike of the to'ere, it felt like lightning went through my body, and like right when it hit it, boom, it did something to me. It opened up a different portal that was waiting to be opened. And since that day, I've never stopped drumming, and now I'm 21, so it's really crazy that I've been, why is so much laughter over here? Yeah, thanks. It is difficult. First time I drummed in Tahiti, where I can sit in session and sit down with all the uncles. Like, I didn't want to drum with the young guys. I want like the uncle, like low-key missing tooth, and you know what I mean? Like no shirt, shorts, like whatever. He had a little cigarette hanging outside of his mouth. Sorry guys, it's Tahiti, just. And I want to drum next to them. I want to see if I can hang. Just like I want to go to college and be an ID number to see if I can hang. I can? No, I was kidding. I was kidding. Grandma? No, he was smoking, not me. And so, where was I? First time I went, it was funny because I fully knew how to, if we have any drummers in here, we have something called oro oro in Tahiti, so we have parts. One part is da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da-ga-da. That's the back. Middle part is da-da-da-da-da-ga-da-da. The front is called mua, 6, 7, 8, da-da-da-da-ga-da-da-da. So when you put it together, we harmonize. The first pe, or the rhythm we learned, pa he. If we have oro oro harmonies, is ta 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 ta. So 3 drummers sounds like 300, right? So I sat down. They didn't think I knew how to drum, and then he literally did like the lamest beat I ever heard. But I was like, yeah. And so I knew, like, I know I'm excited, but I needed to be humble. But 2 things I had working against me. I was a girl, and I think I was about 11 at the time. I was a girl. And even though I'm Polynesian, they'd be like, oh, she's from California. So I was like, she's American. Yeah? Even though, like, I look like them. Just mosquito bites and a little bit lighter. So from that age, I knew, like, okay, like, I'm gonna have to prove myself even more. But remember, you guys, I told you who raised me was my grandma, and I told you she's the strongest person. So her leading by her example, who could do anything in this world, I was like, oh no, I got this. So I have that mentality, like, I want to sit down with the best, male, female, whatever you identify as, and out, let's drum. I don't want to be the drummer that's like, oh, she's good for a girl. Oh, she's good for being from California. I was like, no, I want you to close your eyes, hear me play music, and be like, damn, that's good. Yeah? And I think because I have, not that complex, but I always knew I had that working against me, made me drum harder, faster, louder than Mevinga and Sefa. I hope they don't see this. Love you both. You're amazing musicians. But I work well like this. Put me up against someone, like, yeah, I like it. It's adrenaline rush. So, yeah, I'm still drumming. My mom and my grandma thought it was a phase. I hid under the desk my first drum lesson because I was going to scare them. They were turning off studio lights. And then I heard them talking. And then they said, oh, my grandma was like, Oka, she's such a tomboy. Still am, because I think she wanted me to be Miss Samoa. She wanted me to be Moana. I want to be her too. And then my mom was like, oh, don't worry, she's going through a phase, you know, because all the boys are doing it. And then they didn't know I was still hiding under the desk, and then they turned off the light, and then I started crying. I started crying because I was like, I know what I felt, and I was so excited, and I could feel the mana in the the thunder from the drum, and then to hear like my two women figures in my life, like, okay, I wasn't mad about Tomboy, okay? But like, she's going through a phase. She'll see it's too hard and then she'll quit. Oh, game over. I was like, whoa, okay, I know what it is. And then oddly, they turned off the lights and locked the studio door and they forgot I was even there. But anyway, I was like, hello. But from that day forward, that was my first drum lesson, I told myself, no, you're gonna be the lead drummer of Nonosina one day, and you're gonna be one of the best drummers that is gonna, I was 9K, that in the world, and don't stop at any cost, and I'm still here. Please don't ask me to drum, I'm kind of rusty though. No.
Thank you.
Thank you, you have beautiful hair.
Miss Tiana, I know you're extremely talented in music, drumming, dancing, and so much more. Would you please share a little bit of your talent with us in any of the art forms that you choose?
I've recently taken up beatboxing, and so, no, I was kidding. Oh, just kidding. Okay, they're like, we are never having her back. Yes, sir. I actually brought this because I heard that there was, could dance, but. Oh, that's tonight. I was kidding. I was kidding. One of my favorite instruments is the ukulele. Usually my brother is the one who sings and I usually play. No, I'm gonna sing it. No, I was kidding. And then I think we have, I saw you playing ukulele over there. Don't hide. Purple shirt. I brought this, and then I also brought, actually, yeah, I wasn't gonna play it, but, Vivo from Tahiti. Let me start with the ukulele. Can I have it here, actually, like the microphone here? I'm just gonna play my favorite type of strumming for you guys. It's from the Tuamotus. I mainly trained in Tahitian, that's the Society Islands, but my favorite music from what we call French Polynesia, I don't always like to call it that though, is the Tuamotus. Yeah, thank you. And they're known similar to like steel guitar. It's a voice of its. It's a voice of its own. So usually, this person, as we know, GCEA, yeah. She's loud. One person, they kind of go off while someone holds the rhythm down and strumming, but. Let me see. Tuamotu. Notice the strum, just like TV. Runs that we do. So we go, there's a roll. Same with the Tahitian ukulele. You have to do like. Well, but I watched as a young lad, no, as a young as a young G, I would watch a lot of kupuna play Hawaiian music, and with their Hawaiian, they hold up here, and they were really young, and they would do a strum that would use their thumb and their index. Yeah, they'd be like, it's like a lot of the older folks, they would go up, up, down. So then I took that, and I think I'm one of the only people that plays this type of ukulele, and I used it, but I made it really fast. In place, I can kind of go back and forth with this. This is the traditional way of rolling. But I took the Hawaiian, I saw the kupuna play, and that's like the listeners, if they're really like have watched a lot of ukulele thing, that's the one thing they ask me. How do you do that little trick here? Yeah, thumb up, index up and down, yeah. Wait, hold. This is a vivo. We call it different things all over Polynesia. Very moved. Who was playing this earlier? Is that you? Oh, and you do the. My bad, bro. Sheesh. This one is a Tahitian one, I'm gonna be honest with you. We call it ohe or ofe, it's bamboo, right? When we cut the ohe or the ofe and we split it and then we play it like a drum, this is one of our most traditional instruments, we call it ihara. This, though, I had one of my favorite vivo players, his name is Reimi, Tonton Reimi from Tahiti. He made these, but because I live in California, he made me a box full of ones made out of pipe. Now, the reason being is he can make the ones out of bamboo, but it's our weather. Look outside. The Vivo never saw snow in its life. So then he started to make ones for them. It lasts. A lot of times we step on an accident because we play Vivo, we put it down and we drum. But he gave me a box full of ones made out of pipe. Vivo, we have a bunch of different holes. Yeah. This is one of my favorite instruments. I'm always reluctant to play a vivo that I've never played. I actually brought this as a gift, but I mean, it's just show and tell today. So this vivo, I believe, is a marriage of hina. our goddess of the moon, and then the winds. That's my personal belief, is that I associate the vivo, it's actually a call to lovers. And then we have the different winds that blow through the Ohe forest, and it makes certain sounds, which is why I think that we would draw the different holes to kind of match all the different winds. Polynesians, we know every single wind, every single rain, yeah, and they all have names, every single moon phase. So for me, I created, when I play vivo, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the moon phases, the winds, and the Ohe forest. And to me, it's beautiful, it's romantic. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I get really sad for Tahitian percussion ensembles, because very rarely do people know how to play vivo, and it's very overlooked. And the to'ere was not a traditional instrument. We use this to communicate times of worship, war, or human sacrifice. And now we associate it with dancing, and that's beautiful. But this was one of the most traditional instruments. This, rocks, yeah, other forms of bamboo, voice, pautpa'i, the body, the voice, those are all traditional instruments. So yeah, vivo is, I loved it. And thank you for playing earlier. I was really shocked, big time.
Hello, my name is AJ Keju, and I am a Washington's 10th grade scholar here at Moana Academy. First of all, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come visit and share some wise words of wisdom with us. As a Pacific Islander who is far away from home, I see myself losing my identity every day. But I want to thank you for sharing words of wisdom, especially when you said to just put effort, because that made me realize the resources I have around me to learn my culture and stay close to my roots. From home to family to school, you made me realize how close I can get with myself. You are now and will forever be an inspiration to not only me, but my Moana family. And on behalf of Moana Academy, we would like to present a token of appreciation from our school administration, staff, and students. Wa'apitala.
Wa'apitaiti, we love it. Now what do we do? No, thank you so much. Do you guys want me to open it? No, I'm just kidding. I feel like it's a baby shower. Thank you guys very much. Your questions were amazing. I honestly do a lot of interviews. I can say that the best questions I've had so far in any of my interviews has been here with you guys. Yeah. Thank you. The mental health one, that was good. Do you want me to dance? I'm trying to think of something that.
Yeah, he sat on that seat.
I actually played on his album. I played Ta'ua Va'ea Pahoho, and then I just played with him at the Holo Holo. Okay. I played on his album. I can play other instruments. No, I think it's just not, you don't find someone that offers that thing. So I'm gonna dance something for you guys. It's from Wicked. No, I'm just kidding. I've never seen it. I don't know what I'm saying. It's called Tupu Tupua. Everyone say Tupu Tupua. Yeah, my brother's singing. It's an original piece. The reason why I'm gonna share this with you guys is this is It was part of the audition process that I auditioned dancers for live action Moana. And it was the first choreo before the callback. I'm not sharing it with you because of that. I'm sharing with you because it's a lot to me. Because I had to gather different shapes and movements throughout the triangle and put it into one piece. So I hope you see a little bit of a lot of it. Does that make sense? That's what we say at a WAC major. No. I'm gonna probably first time through. Wait a minute. Okay. Because we have the boys here too, and I told you I love teaching boys. I'm gonna do the first part, the girl version, the second part, the boy version, yeah? Is that cool? Yeah. Yeah. I need to step forward then. Okay. The boy one. Hold on, just a second. University's 23. Okay.
smiles. Okay. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Wow. So colorful.